Hello everybody, this is Lila in Hawaii. I just stopped out in my little jungle outside and picked two pretty hibiscus. These are really big, they're 8 inches across, and just two of them, and they were picked probably about an hour ago. Unfortunately, when they're picked they only last half a day, but the purpose of this video is just to show them, because it's rare to find such perfect pink ones like that. I'm going to put that aside, and I was going to show you how I make glassine envelopes. Can't get any of that sort of stuff here in Hawaii, glassine or vellum or any of that. So I usually resort to making my own, and here's an assortment of some that I've made. These are envelopes made of tissue, actually, but it's a little bit stronger than tissue. It's called Deli wrap. And I buy it, in fact I've only ever bought it once. I bought it at a restaurant supply that's now closed, and it came in 500 sheets. So I certainly have enough for a lifetime. They're a little bit bigger than what I need, so I have to trim them, no big deal. And then away I go. But first of all, I'll show you some of the results, and that they turn out quite nice actually, I think. So, first of all, I use my own artwork if I can. I like that because, you know, it's copyright to me, and I don't have to infringe on anybody else's copyright. But anyhow, these are how the bags look. And then usually what I do when I do that is I print a card that's from the same picture, because I have these stored on the internet. And that's kind of nice, so that's one lot. And then I just printed off this one. I always make the little bag just like that. Fold the sides in, fold the bottom up, and then cut off part of the flap and trim off the edges like that to make it like that. Just like that. I didn't print off something to coordinate, so this is Monet's bridge and his. The watercolor I did, not very good. Anyway, that's in his garden. And so this is another Monet picture I've painted. So this is just a card I took off it, so I thought that would work pretty good in that. And I also have, this was a pastel painting, and I made a vellum pocket bag out of that. Now, unfortunately, when I do something with pastels, which this was, doesn't reproduce the best for me on the printer, so it looks a little like that, but I like it. It's sort of washed out a bit, not too much detail. And so there's the card I printed to go with that. And let's see, here's another one of my art piece. Let me see, which way does this go? Here's another art piece. Here's the that's the wrong side. There you go. There's the bag from one of my art pieces in Provence. And here's the card that I put in with it. I hope I'm in focus. And then I had this too that I'd made a little while ago to hold some old photos. And I've taken those out, and there's another little bag. Didn't have the original picture, I can't find it. So I just printed off another picture that I took in Provence. So that's going in that. So that's how those work. Now, to print it, I was going to give you a quick demo. I take one of these sheets of deli wrap, like tissue paper. It's a little bit sturdier than deli paper. Than tissue paper. The deli wrap is a bit sturdier. Has one sort of a smooth, almost shiny side, and one that's a little bit rougher. So you want to do your artwork on the rougher side to put it through the printer. And after I've trimmed it to the size I want, which is the size of a sheet of, let me get that, it's a sheet here of printer paper, I cut it to size, and then I take repositional glue. That's the best one. And I add some just to the top here. Let's see which is, yeah, that's the right side. And then I also, if I can get that straight, and then I smooth it out, and then I add a little of the glue down at the bottom. So I've already done one just for the sake of time, so I thought I'd print something off, but this is again just a piece of that Deli wrap, and it's adhered on the bottom and top to just a piece of printer paper. So now I'm going to see if I can set this up to where you can see my printer, which is that. That's my printer right there. So now, and this is my computer table. This is a different room. It's not my art studio. So now I'm going to put this with the paper. So it's two papers and the tissue side down, and then I'm going to go ahead and find something to print, which I haven't done ahead of time, but I can find something real quick. Let me see here. I'm going to go to pictures, and I'm going to find some of my, find something really good. Okay, why don't okay, I found a picture. It's one of my pictures again. And I've got it on here. Now I've set up the printer, and it says my printer name, then it says letter is the paper size, the quality is best, and the paper type is plain. Let me just straighten that. It looks like it's a little crooked to me. Okay, there you go. So I put that, you probably saw me put the paper in there. Now all I need to do is, here I've got full size print. Let's see what happens. It can be a surprise sometimes. So once that's printed, then I'm going to just take off the substrate, which is the printer paper, and fold up the tissue to make an envelope. Oh gosh, I love making them. I think it's easy. It does use quite a bit of ink, but that's fine with me because I buy my ink online, like I buy anything I want here in Hawaii. I have to buy online, and it's fine. Not too bad. So now it's printing, and while it's printing, I'll show you these again, just so you've got something to look at. Okay, so that's that. And I'm just going to put them... Okay, now I'll take that out. It's done. I just took it out of the printer, and it's printed off onto the paper. And you notice that on the side it has some black from the black ink. And that does happen from time to time. Sometimes it means that I have to run a cleaning on my black, or sometimes it means that I've, run out of ink, or running out of ink or something. I don't worry about that though. If it's right in the middle, sometimes that bothers me. But that'll be trimmed off. So the next thing to do is to take that tissue off, and because it was repositionable, because I could reposition it, it wasn't there. So now I'm just going to cut off most of the black, not all of it, because it's going to be under the fold, I hope. So, just going to cut that part off there. Now to make the envelopes the way I do it is, well, I have several ways, but this is, I have to make sure that my artwork is facing the right way. You don't want a building and there's a person there. You don't want that on the side. So you want the envelope to go that way, which means it's going to look like a long envelope. Not to worry. So the first thing I do is I fold in the sides, and then I fold this side in. I don't have the regular glue stick. I only have the repositionable one. So I am not going to glue it because I don't want that. And depending on your picture, of course. So that's the first fold. Then there's a little person here which was on the original painting that I painted, man with his dog. So I'm just going to, I need to just trim that off a little bit. And what I would do next is I will fold that up. Imagine this is all folded. Maybe I can just add a little bit here so you get the idea. So that's all folded. That's the back of the envelope. And then this is the bottom. And so that's the, this is a long narrow envelope, obviously. If you print, I should say, horizontally, you can get a wider envelope, and this is how it would look. It just depends on your picture and the way you put it on your printer. Some pictures don't, they have to be either landscape or portrait. Okay, so this is going to be where I fold down the top. And this, of course, I'm not going to glue because this is going to be the flap. And the first thing I do is I cut like that. And then I cut off that part of it so that that's the flap and it's only single layer. The rest of it's double layer, and of course, as I said, this will be glued. And then this is the flap for your envelope, like that. Now you can seal it. Sorry, it was out of focus. You can turn the flap down like that. Single layer. These are the pieces I cut off, and then you can either use, if it's something permanent, well then you can use your what do you call this? Repositionable glue, or you can actually use some sellotape, double-sided tape, whatever. And then there's the envelope. Now, as I say, with these, I usually make a card from the same photo or painting in this case, and that would be a gift pouch for somebody. So I'm just going to pick up the hibiscus again so you can see them, because this is the purpose of this whole thing, is hibiscus. And then I thought, I better show how to make something. They won't want to look at just hibiscus, or maybe they would. And the little crystal vase is cute, huh? The little crystal vase is from my mother in New Zealand. My mother is now deceased, but that was one of her wedding gifts. That's kind of nice. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.